Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Good to see you again in our live session here in Casa Spanish. My name is Carlos, and I'm a Spanish as a foreign language teacher here in Casa Spanish. Welcome, everyone. It's good to see you early. Good morning, Liz. Hello. Good morning. Today, we're going to be working. Hola, Julia. Buenos días. ¿Qué tal? Hola a todos. So as I said, today we're going to be working on grammar. And a lot of you actually have asked me before about prepositions and that we have to, keep practicing them and keep revising them. And I think it's a great idea to do this. So for today, you have your list of prepositions. We're just going to be working on 3 today. So you can access to the list on the link I'm giving you right now. Sorry about my voice. I have a bit of a sore throat today. So go to the link. You can access the prepositions later on or while we go through the lesson. So use it. And today we're going to be working on 3 of them, which are de, a, and en. Preposition de, a, and en. Now, you have used them a lot of times, but sometimes actually they differ a lot from English. So what we're going to do, we're going to be looking at examples and sentences in when we use them. Let's start. So as always, if you know the answer, good morning, Karen. Good to see you. Good to see you here today. As always, if you know the answer, you can type it on the chat. You can type it in English or you can type it in Spanish. So let's go. First of all, we're going to start with a quick revision of the prepositions. So preposition de, a, and en. When do we use them? Preposition de, we're going to use them for 5 things. Number 1, possession. Este libro es de Mariana. Number 2, cause. Mi padre está enfermo de gripa. My dad has a cold. Number 3, origin. Yo soy de Francia, but we can use it also with another place, like, for example, yo vengo de mi casa. I come from my house. Material. No me gusta la ropa de piel. I don't like leather clothes. And number 5, subject. Hablemos de otra cosa. Let's talk about something else. So here we have it, the preposition de. Preposition a, motion. Mañana nos vamos a Marbella. Number 2, time. La reunión comienza a las 8. And number 3, indirect pronoun. Le he escrito una carta a mi madre. So motion, mañana nos vamos a Marbella. We're going to Marbella. Time, la reunión comienza a las 8. The meeting starts at 8. An indirect pronoun, le he escrito una carta a mi madre, to my mom, to whom you have written that letter. So that's for a, and then we have en, location. Now, 3 examples for location here, and you will see why. Number 1, estoy en el trabajo. So I'm at work. In English, that would be at. El conejo entró en su madriguera. So the rabbit got in its den. So that would be the in for, towards or like inside. And number 3, that one is interesting. La botella está en la mesa. La botella está, the bottle is on the table. So in Spanish, you can use the preposition en for on, or sobre as well is possible. But, en is quite flexible in that regard. So these are the 3 that we're going to be working on today. Please just go back to the rules if you don't remember them. But what basically we'll do, we will find a way to practice in them in a context. And very important, because there's a very tiny rule to follow. De más el, de plus el, it becomes del. Example. La ambulancia transporta enfermos del hospital a sus casas. So, la ambulancia transports sick people from the hospital to their places, to their houses. So, as you can see, we don't separate the de plus el. We don't say de el hospital. We put it together and it becomes del hospital. Very important to remember. It also happens with a. Mañana iremos al museo. So tomorrow we'll go to the museum. A plus el becomes al. Now, remember this rule because I will try to trick you. You know how it is. If you want to go back to the rules, you can use the link I have just given you. You can access them anytime you want for revision. Now, our quiz. As I said, we will revise basically just the correct use depending on context. So the context is important, guys. And let's do number 1. Completa. So please type down your answer. Remember that we're just working on 3 prepositions, de, a, and en. Anoche, en las noticias, hablaron la situación en el Amazonas es inquietante. Anoche, en las noticias, hablaron la situación en el Amazonas es inquietante. So what preposition are we going to use here? Lynn, good morning, Lynn. Lynn is opting for de. We have Facebook user. I don't know who that is, but welcome. We have de as well. And in this case, the preposition is de. Muy bien, Julia. Excelente. De. So, anoche, nice word. Last night, in the news, they talked, as impersonal they, about the situation in the Amazon forest. Es inquietante. So that is a nice word as well. Inquietante, worrying. Well done. Well done, Karen. Well done, Liz. Muy bien, chicas. Excelente. Número 2. ¿Correcto o incorrecto? Hola, Sonia. ¿Qué haces? ¿Qué tal? Estoy esperando a mi padre. Hola, Sonia. ¿Qué haces? ¿Qué tal? Estoy esperando a mi padre. What do you guys think? Is this correct? Incorrect? If you think it's incorrect, maybe you can give me your explanation. Why not? Why not? We only need to go the extra mile. We always need to go that. It's a good idea. So Julia is betting for correcto. Len, correcto. And you guys are correct. This is a correct conversation. Hola, Sonia. ¿Qué haces? What are you doing? ¿Qué tal? What's up? Or hello. I am waiting for my dad. So here we have that a. Estoy esperando a mi padre, but in English we would say for. That is interesting. Liz, yes, of course. And this is the indirect object. Like we're waiting for whom. For whom are you waiting? Excellent. Jean, good morning. Good to see you. And let's go to number 3. Completa. El restaurante abre de la noche. Todavía tenemos tiempo. El restaurante abre las 8 de la noche. Todavía tenemos tiempo. So every time, when we revise the time in Spanish, I always tell you to remember that we need to use that preposition when we talk about a specific time, right? So what would we have? Karen abre a las 8, Julia a, Jean a, Liz a, and Lynn a. Muy bien. That is our answer. El restaurante abre a las 8 de la noche. Todavía tenemos tiempo. Y cierra, and it closes, a la 1 de la mañana. So remember that last, it's only when it's more than 2. If you're talking about 1 a.m., a la 1 de la mañana. Excelente trabajo. Well done. Let's go to number 4. ¿Correcto o incorrecto? Cristina está en la parada de autobús. Cristina está en la parada de autobús. What do you guys think for Cristina? Cristina está en la parada de autobús. Correcto, incorrecto. If you think it's incorrecto, why? Why is it incorrecto? Cristina está en la parada de autobús. Liz is betting for correcto, and she's telling us location. Jean is highlighting the preposition en. Karen, correcto. Julia, correcto. Jean, correcto. And you are all correcto. Muy bien. Here we have two prepositions, right? Cristina está en la parada de autobús. So, de autobús, in this case, we can reflect on it as in possession, like what is the bus, the stop for? So, it's for the bus. So, la parada de autobús. Muy bien. Okay, let's amp up a bit the level. José está estudiando la universidad más importante, Alemania. So we need two prepositions here, please. Type them down. José está estudiando la universidad más importante, Alemania. What do you guys think? What are the prepositions that we need in this sentence so it makes sense? We have our answers. Karen, en and de. Julia, en and de. Lynn, en and de. Muy bien, excelente. And here are our prepositions. José está estudiando en la universidad más importante de Alemania. Excelente, Liz. Excelente, Jean. Buen trabajo. Well done. We move on. ¿Correcto o incorrecto? Esta mañana llevé a mi perro al veterinario. Afortunadamente, todo está bien. Esta mañana llevé a mi perro al veterinario. Afortunadamente, todo está bien. That's a funny word. I like it. Afortunadamente. Long one. What do you guys think? Esta mañana llevé a mi perro al veterinario. Afortunadamente, todo está bien. So that llevé, I took my dog to the vet. Fortunately, everything is well. What do you guys think? Julia is telling us incorrecto, al, not at el. Muy bien. Karen, a plus el igual a al. Incorrecto, should be al, not el. And Jean, a el. Muy bien, excelente, chicas. Muy buen trabajo. Esta mañana llevé a mi perro al veterinario. Afortunadamente, todo está bien. Excelente, Liz, al. This is really important because, it slips. It's very common, but, that's what we're doing it. So if you're finding it, that is great. Moving on. 7. Completa. No veo, Andrea, la fiesta. ¿Estás seguro que fue invitada? No veo, Andrea, la fiesta. ¿Estás seguro que fue invitada? So, what is happening here? No, no veo, Andrea, en la fiesta. ¿Estás seguro que fue invitada? And let's see, Len, no veo a Andrea a la fiesta. Karen is betting for no veo a Andrea en la fiesta. Julia, no veo a Andrea en la fiesta. And Liz is telling us no veo a Andrea en la fiesta. And that is our answer. Muy bien. No veo a Andrea en la fiesta. ¿Estás seguro que fue invitada? Now, this one is interesting because in English, actually, we don't need the preposition, right? So I don't see Andrea in the party. Well, for in, yes. But in Spanish, we do need a preposition to, connect that verb with the object. No veo a Andrea en la fiesta. This is for indirect object pronoun. So sometimes, I mean, it's very common that when we need a preposition in Spanish, in English is not needed. So we have to be careful with that. But well done. Muy buen trabajo. 8. ¿Correcto o incorrecto? Los gemelos de mi vecino se llaman Luis y Alejandro. Son adorables. Los gemelos de mi vecino se llaman Luis y Alejandro. Son adorables. What do you guys think? Is this correct? Is this incorrect? And why is it incorrect if you think so? Los gemelos de mi vecino se llaman Luis y Alejandro. Son adorables. Lynn is betting for correcto. Jean is betting for correcto. Karen is asking a question. ¿Están adorables? Los gemelos de mi vecino se llaman Luis y Alejandro. ¿Están adorables? So why we cannot use estar in this? So remember, when we talk about a physical description, we do use ser all the time, even if it's going to change. For example, if you say, mi hijo es bajo, my son is short, I mean, for now, of course, but it's going to change. But because it's a description, a physical description, we always use ser. So, son adorables is correct. Es correcto, Karen. And Liz is giving us, because it's possession. That is correct, Liz. Los gemelos de mi vecino se llaman Luis y Alejandro. No problem, Karen. And this sentence is correcto. Los gemelos de mi vecino se llaman Luis y Alejandro. Son adorables. And that word, I like that word, gemelos. Los gemelos. How do we say when there are three? Los trillizos. I'm going to put it here. Los trillizos o las trillizas, dependiendo de si son tres o dos. Good. Moving on. Número 9. Completa. So I want you to type down, please. Chicos, 5 minutos, al fin llegaremos, la playa. Chicos, 5 minutos, al fin llegaremos, la playa. So what are the prepositions that we need here in order for this story to make sense? Imagine the dad, you're getting close to the beach and you say, guys, 5 minutes, we will finally arrive, beach. What would you use here? Lynn is betting for chicos, a 5 minutos, al fin llegaremos en la playa. Jean is betting for as well. a 5 minutos al fin llegaremos a la playa. Lisa is telling us, en 5 minutos al fin llegaremos en la playa. Hello, Lisa. First time I see you. Good morning. Julia. Oh, we have a lot of options, guys. This is interesting. Julia is betting for a 5 minutos llegaremos en la playa. Karen is telling us, a 5 minutos llegaremos a la playa. And Liz is telling us for a 5 minutos llegaremos en la playa. Now, I was trying to trick you in this one because I know that when you say about time, we said that we're going to use a. But remember that it is when we're talking about a specific time. Okay, the answer of this is en. En 5 minutos, al fin llegaremos a la playa. Time is, remember when we said that it was a specific time. If I want to say that at 2, we will at last arrive at the beach, yes, then we would say a las 2 de la tarde, al fin llegaremos a la playa. But when it's an approximate, we would go to that en. En 5 minutos, al fin llegaremos a la playa. So remember that these rules of location is not absolute, right? En 5 minutos to give an approximate time of when we're going to arrive. So, sometimes you just go with your gut. En 5 minutos, al fin llegaremos a la playa. Excelente. Continuamos. Número 10. ¿Correcto o incorrecto? ¿De dónde vienes, Ramón? Del mercado. Es que hoy cocinaré caldo de pollo. ¿De dónde vienes, Ramón? Del mercado. Es que hoy cocinaré caldo de pollo. So, caldo de pollo, remember your vocabulary, chicken broth. Caldo, a broth. ¿Y de dónde vienes, Ramón? De el mercado. Es que hoy cocinaré caldo de pollo. ¿Correcto? Incorrecto? If it is incorrecto, please try to correct it. You can do this. Let's see what we have. So Lisa is betting for incorrecto. Facebook user incorrecto del. Len should be del, not de el. Muy bien. And Karen as well. Del mercado. Julia del, not de el. Al mercado. Well, not bad, but in this case, we're talking about origin. ¿De dónde vienes? Where are you coming from? Right? ¿De dónde vienes? Del mercado. Es que hoy cocinaré caldo de pollo. So origin, mercado, remember that it's not always about a country. We can talk about a place in the city or wherever. Del mercado, es que hoy cocinaré caldo de pollo. Excelente. Continuamos. Completa. Me gusta mucho la tarta coco. Me gusta mucho la tarta coco. What is the preposition that we need here? Me gusta mucho la tarta coco. Lynn is saying de coco. Facebook user is saying de. Karen de coco. Muy bien. Lisa de coco. Liz de coco. Muy bien, no hay problema. The answer is de. Now, I like this example because this preposition actually is tricky for Spanish speakers, when we learn other languages, because in English, the rule is completely different, right? Like coconut cake. So you don't even need a preposition to connect the two nouns. In French, if you speak French, you will know that they would use another preposition. They would use the equivalent of the a in Spanish. So for us, for Spanish speakers, when we try to speak French, we tend to go for that de, but that's not the one we use. So in this case is de. Caroline, good to see you. Good morning. Good morning, Caroline. And Jane is de. Excelente. Continuamos. Número 12. This one is a bit long. Let's see. ¿Correcto o incorrecto? Cuando viajamos, es importante para nosotros meter medicamentos en nuestra maleta, sobre todo si vamos al extranjero. Cuando viajamos, es importante para nosotros meter medicamentos en nuestra maleta, sobre todo si vamos al extranjero. So, is this correct, incorrect, and why is it incorrect? Cuando viajamos, es importante para nosotros meter medicamentos en nuestra maleta, sobre todo si vamos al extranjero. What do you guys think? Julia is betting for correcto. Facebook user correcto. Lisa is betting for incorrecto. And Karen is betting for correcto. Lynn, correcto. And you guys are correcto. This is correct. And we have two prepositions here, right? Cuando viajamos es importante para nosotros meter medicamentos en nuestra maleta, similar to that example with the rabbit, sobre todo si vamos al extranjero, that a plus el together, making that al extranjero. Excelente. Seguimos. Completa. El parque no está lejos, no está muy lejos, mi casa. Tal vez son unos 15 minutos, pie. El parque no está muy lejos, mi casa. Tal vez son unos 15 minutos, pie. What do you guys think? So what are we trying to say here? I mean, I guess like the first sentence is not that complicated. Like the park is not very far away, mi casa. The second part is the one that is a bit more interesting. Maybe it's about 15 minutes. Pie. Remember, pie means foot. So what are we going to use? El parque no está muy lejos. Mi casa. Tal vez son unos 15 minutos. Pie. Let's see the options we have. So Lisa is betting for de and en. Liz, de and a. Lynn, de and n. Facebook user, de and a. Karen, de and a. And Julia, de and a. Well done. It is, el parque no está muy lejos de mi casa. Tal vez son unos 15 minutos a pie. Excelente. So that a pie, you know, given the idea of motion, but it would be more towards the way something is done, because we can also use it for a mano, by hand. It's made by hand. Está hecho a mano, etc. So well done. In this case, in English, that would be your by. See how it changes depending on the context. Extremely different, but good thing that we are practicing them. Okay, moving on. We're about to finish, guys. 2 more to go. Let's see what we have. ¿Correcto o incorrecto? Cuando conoces a alguien por primera vez, no es buena idea conversar política ni religión. Cuando conoces a alguien por primera vez, no es buena idea conversar política ni religión. So what are the prepositions we need for this to make sense? Is it going to be a? Is it going to be en? Is it going to be de? What do you guys think? So Lynn is betting for de and de. Liz, de and de. Julia, de and de, and Karen, de and de, Lisa, de and de, Jean, de and de. And that is our answer, guys. Muy bien. Cuando conoces a alguien por primera vez, no es buena idea conversar de política ni de religión. Facebook user is saying de la política ni de la religión. So in Spanish, we don't always need that definite article because política is already very general and specific at the same time, like about politics. If you are talking about a definite, specific politics of a place, like de la política de Inglaterra, or about English politics, yes, we need that article de la. But if it's general, we don't need the article. It's not definite. Muy bien. Excelente. And let's do the last one. Completa. Los murciélagos se alimentan insectos medianoche. Los murciélagos se alimentan insectos medianoche. So what are we gonna use? So what we're trying to say is like bats, of course, murciélagos, feed insectos, medianoche, remember, midnight, medianoche, mediodía, noon, medianoche, midnight. So, los insectos se alimentan, insectos, medianoche. What do we have? So Lisa is betting for los murciélagos se alimentan de los insectos a medianoche. Julia a insectos a medianoche. Facebook user a insectos a medianoche. Lynn is betting for los murciélagos se alimentan de insectos a medianoche. Liz, los murciélagos se alimentan en insectos a medianoche. A lot of options, guys. You're giving me a lot of answers here. But in this case, the correct answer is Lynn. Muy bien, Lynn. Los murciélagos se alimentan de insectos a medianoche. And Karen as well. Karen gave us the answer as well. Lynn. So, los murciélagos se alimentan de insectos a medianoche. Muy bien. Excelente, chicos. Well done. That was a very good lesson. I could see, that prepositions are still tricky in some ways, but, I mean, you can use them and you are able to differentiate or when to know when we don't need them. But in all, really well done. Now, to connect this lesson with another lesson in the future, I decided to do a listening lesson when we will talk about our neighborhoods. So in this lesson, we will practice these prepositions specifically in the context of a city. We're going to try to describe a city, but it's going to be a listening one. So basically, we're going to listen to Kerry and Lola, two workmates, talking about Lola's hometown, Albacete, which is a town in Spain. And we will listen to these conversations whilst practicing comprehension and the use of prepositions. So I want to connect this lesson to the one we're going to have that day. And of course, I always give you the vocabulary that you will come across. Encontrar, to find, la cima, the summit or a peak of a mountain, and las afueras, the outskirts. So please come to the lesson so, we can connect the info that we just learned with a bit more of practice. So it's always a better thing to practice after these grammar lessons. So I thank you for coming for today. And if you have more suggestions, I think this was a very good topic, actually, prepositions. And we have done just 3. So we have more to go. And so I will keep coming this kind of preposition lessons, I think it's better if we do it in chunks, you know, in small chunks, so we get a whole idea and a better idea of them. Lynn is telling us, thanks, Carlos. Por and para. I think we have done por and para before. That's true, but I will repeat it because yeah, it's always worth it to repeat por and para. I mean, they're crazy sometimes when we try to make sentences. Karen, excelente. You're welcome, Karen. Thank you for coming. Good to see you every Saturday. And Lisa, gracias, Carlos. Muy interesante. You are welcome, Lisa. And guys, if you are new as well, you can go to the website. I'll give you the link. Here's the link. You can find the rules that we actually studied today. And also, if you go to the homepage, you will find some free trials. It's me giving the live free trial, so you can come as well and talk about your Spanish learning journey, or just to say hello and see how a lesson goes in our online school. Well, I wish you a great day. Take advantage of the sunny weather, and I will see you in our next lesson. Thank you all for coming and for your participation. I will see you next time. Hasta luego. Adios. Bye bye.